Every day, my mind gets shattered into multiple pieces, exploring and experimenting with OpenClaw. If you're watching this video right now, you are about to level up like Neo in the motherfucking Matrix because I'm going to teach you everything I know about skills, everything you need to know about skills. And you got to have the skills to pay the bills, if you know what I'm saying. What prompted this video was a comment. So we got a comment from Mr. Austin Monday. Here's my prompt to you. So he's prompting me. So I'm basically like OpenClaw right now. Now I know what it feels like to be OpenClaw because I'm getting prompted and I'm actually doing what he told me to do. He says, please make a video explaining where to source skills, share some of your favorite skills or the ones you personally use, and include a brief overview of how to determine whether a skill is safe to install and use. Great prompt. Don't mind if I do, Mr. Austin. I'm about to dive into that right now. And I spent some time. I did a little prep. Me and Max, my OpenClaw, we went back and forth. He taught me some things. We made a nice little pretty presentation for you guys and get you educated, updated, and really understand how skills work. So in this video, you'll know, at the end of it, you'll know why skills are important, where to even find them, source them, how to know if they're safe, and what skills I'm personally using. One of my top 10 favorite skills. So let's get into it. All right. 101, where to even find what skills you have right now. You open your OpenClaw and you click on skills, believe it or not. You can search skills here. You can type in any type of skills here, search up top. It's going to show you the different folder types. I'll get into what that means, workspace, built-in, other skills. And right now with OpenClaw, at least February 23rd, 2026, it comes with 50 built-in skills, and then you can go and disable them or enable them as you will. And you can also get skills from the internet, right? So I have a bunch enabled right now for vibe coding. I might even make a separate video on what skills I use for vibe coding because I wanted to make my OpenClaw Max, that's his name, like an ultimate vibe coder, right? So I got like Super Bass, Tailwind, Vercel, all that type of stuff, specifically for vibe coding, Claude Code, that kind of thing. So this is where you find your skills. So if you're curious what you have right now, if you don't know, just go into skills and click it and search. One cool thing that I learned about skills recently that I didn't know is you can have as many as you want. There's really no limits. They don't take up that much space. And you can have a shit ton of them saved on your computer that your OpenClaw can reference. And with the skills, they are .md files. What that means is they're markdown. What's a markdown file? It's basically what AI digests the best and understands the best. It's code. It's technically code, but it's an English language for the most part. And you can read it yourself to know if it's safe. That's like step one, to read it yourself if you want. And you can see what that skill is used for and what the point of it is. All right, here's my little fancy presentation me and Max made for you guys to give you some visuals. I'm a visual learner. I like to see shit. I don't want to just hear it. It helps me understand what we're learning here. So why skills matter. This is really important. Number one, consistency. So yeah, you can keep telling your OpenClaw to do something. Like maybe he's done something before. Maybe he's, for example, this presentation, right? I like the style, the look, the color scheme, the vibe of this presentation style. So I made a skill that he makes my next presentation with the same vibe and same look instead of having me have to go and re-explain it all again and explain the details of how I like the images created. No, he's got the skill now. So with the skill, it's consistent, right? It's deterministic creations. So you can be confident that you're going to get a very similar, if not the exact same output every single time versus hoping it turns out to be the same output. So same workflow every time, no re-explaining to your OpenClaw how to do something. Dos, conversations, they get wiped regularly, right? And I will make a video on boosting up your memory because there's hacks to do that. I'll make that next or soon. But conversations get wiped, but the skills survive forever, right? Skills don't die. So having skills is really, really important because it just remembers how to do the cool shit you had it do. So you don't have to keep training it again and again and again. It makes a skill, it recalls it, and then it just does the same thing. So when your conversations get wiped, your skills keep things consistent, keep things going and persistent. Number 3, it saves tokens. I mean, if anything, this is a great reason to get a bunch of skills. Here's a little visual for you. So 500 tokens, having to keep re-explaining it every time because it has to do its whole process to deliver what you're asking versus, oh, I'll just use that skill we created last time and 24 tokens versus 500. You know, it could even be more of token usage depending on what you're trying to do. So if this is not a reason enough alone, you should have some skills. Number 4, with your skill, like I said, you say less, you get more. The visuals help. So I actually created a skill for Kalshi to do a bunch of research with, on X, Reddit, that kind of thing, find AI news, that kind of stuff, and then go and place bets for me. So I got like an API, Kalshi, it goes and places bets. I'm having fun. I did like a little bit of money, not a ton, just to experiment first. I didn't give them, my life savings, but just like $100. I'm like, all right, do it. Get after it, man. Let's see what you can do. And he won the first bet. He actually won. I did 3 bets. He won the first one. I'm waiting a week for the second one, and then I'm waiting a month for the third bet to know if I win. So he actually won. Not a ton of money, a little bit of profit. But anyway, I made a skill for him to take bets, and he went and did it. Right? He actually successfully made the skill. And now next time I'm betting, he'll just go and run that same process without a bunch of room for error or gaps or miscalculation because he didn't do it the same way as he did it the previous time, right? So that's a huge reason. All right. So what I said before, if you go to your skills section on your portal, there's workspace skills, built-in skills, other skills. Workspace skills are skills that live in your workspace that are yours. Ones you've installed or created, customized yourself, they're yours. And it's basically just categorized. They're all skills in one bucket, but this just kind of breaks them up. Built-in skills, those are the 50 I mentioned in the beginning that come with OpenClaw. And then other skills are ones you've installed from ClawHub, GitHub, or somewhere on the internet, right? Some other skills. Pretty simple. Skill categories, there's creative, communication, productivity, data, development, security type skills. And they can do a bunch of different stuff, like really good at sending emails, really good at SMS, really good at creating documents, like really good at PDFs or sheets or whatever. And it depends on what you do and what you're trying to create, but you want to create skills that are aligned with what you are having your assistant, your OpenClaw, do, right? I like coding. That's why I made a bunch of coding skills and went and downloaded a bunch of coding skills for development, right? Maybe you are in finance and you need more Google Sheets and that type of shit. Like whatever it is you do, create a bunch of skills around what it is you want your OpenClaw to do. It's that simple. All right, these are my top 10 skills I use daily right now. Image gen, Nano Banana. So I got a Gemini API key, plugged it in to my OpenClaw. Now every time he makes images, he has that skill. He already knows what to do. And I just explain what I want in the image. And he just does it and it's awesome. And it's mind blowing. And it comes right to my Telegram, right to my desktop, whatever I want, right? Amazing. I use, coding agents, like I had mentioned before, Google, so I can do my Google Calendar, Twitter, so you can research, text to speech. I actually have 11 Labs API connected, so then he can send me voice messages. And I think that's already an update on OpenClaw, but I don't know. I can change the voice. I have like an Australian dude. That's Max's voice. And sounds pretty cool. And he sends me voice messages when I don't feel like reading on Telegram. My YouTube API, since my YouTube's been popping, thank you guys. I am super blessed. I just almost doubled my subscribers in the last week. Insane. You guys are awesome. I try to reply to as many comments as possible, by the way. So prompt a video for me. And if it makes sense enough for you, suggest it and it makes sense, I'll make the video. As you saw, I already did that with Mr. Austin Monday. So right now in the comments, share some love because maybe you have a good idea for a video and I'll just go and make it. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, back to my top 10. I like it for web scraping. I have a Brave API key I gave it, And now it's just better at searching the web 10 times faster and finding information. Yeah, so I'm going to keep giving you guys updates on skills I really like, I really enjoy. And I'm going to show you where to get them right now. And then I'm going to show you a custom skill I built yesterday that is essential before you download any skill for safety reasons. And I actually built two, so I'll get into that very shortly. But here's where most people are getting skills. Right here on ClawHub.ai is where most people are getting skills. You can browse different skills. There's a ton. Find ones that are relevant to you, and you can install them. You can just copy this, put it in your terminal, install it. Or honestly, you can just tell your Claude bot, like, yo, this is the skill I found on ClawHub, install it for me, that kind of thing. So a couple different ways you can do it, but this is where you can find a bunch of skills. You can also find them on GitHub. So that's a good place to find them. They're all free. That's where you can find them there. But before you do any of this, very, very important, you want to make sure these skills are safe, because I have heard horror stories of people downloading random skills from the internet and they're not safe. There's malware, there's issues, and you don't want to mess around with that, because you have a lot of personal information in here. You don't want to get hacked or anything silly like that, or prompt injected, that kind of thing. So you want to make sure your skills are secure. How do you do that? Well, me and Max, we went to work last night. We were cooking. I swear I was cooking. I wasn't sleeping. My girl's like, when are you coming to bed? I'm like, I don't know. I'm cooking with Max, because I got to make a new skill that is going to make sure everyone's skills are secure and safe to download. So what did I cook up? I'll show you right now. I made my own skill called Skill Guard by Babiarz, my company, Effortless AI. Here's what it does. It does an 8-step security audit procedure, dependency and type squatting checks, claims versus reality comparison, zero dependency, pure instructions, prompt injection, pattern database, behavioral, all this good stuff. It gives you a rating if it's safe, if be cautious, or if it's risky. So it'll actually give you a rating before it installs it. And it works with any agent, right? So all you got to do, I'll put the link in the description below. I'll also pin a comment with the link. It's 100% free. I'm not going to charge a penny for this. Just go to that link and get the skill. You can either click get the command, or you just copy it, or this is the easiest as well. Just click View Skill MD. Come here. It's all here. You just got to click copy, right? You click the copy button like this. It says copied. You go to your OpenClaw. Tell them, yo, install this and run this before I do any skill, and it will protect you. And I'm really stoked about this, because security is really, really important. We're having a lot of fun here, but it's not fun if you're getting hacked. Like, you know what I mean? So that's key. Get this, number one, before you do anything, and go in ClawHub and download a bunch of random skills. Number two, this is meta as shit. And I'm pretty proud of this. I thought this was genius. A skill detector. So you ask, like, how do I know when to make a skill? Or, what if I'm doing repetitive tasks and I forget to tell it to make a skill, like all that stuff. I'm like, why don't I make a skill that detects when you should make a skill? And I built this for you guys. So it's actually going to recognize your patterns of how you're talking to your Claude bot throughout the day and the weeks and the months. And then it's going to suggest to you, hey, we should make a skill about this. You've been doing this pretty consistently, and we want it to be saved as a skill. So it'll prompt you and ask you, what do you want to make a skill? So it checks your patterns, your styles, finds gaps, missing workflow skills. And same thing, click this, copy skill, and you'll have this whole thing ready to rock. And yes, I used the skill guard to scan my skill detector to make sure it was safe, and I got a green thumbs up. So we're chilling. Get both skills; they're safe. And before you do anything, go ahead and get these installed. Very, very important. So with that, that's my 101 for skills. I'll continue learning, keep teaching you guys. Drop a like. Please comment, please subscribe, show some love. I try to get back to every single person as much as I can. Go look at my last video. I commented on almost every video or every comment I possibly could, because you guys are showing me love. I want to show love back. I'm giving you this for free. I want to continue giving this for free. I'm obsessed. I'm excited. If you can't tell, me and Max, we're running the show. We're excited about OpenClaw. This is the future. This is AGI. This is changing the world. This will change the game for any founder, entrepreneur, everyday person that just wants to level up with OpenClaw. Until the next video, see you guys later.